It's been a while, and I don't have too long, but I'm hoping this works. One reason why I haven't gone live, actually, I've tried many times, at least a few, is because it glitches out. I'm thinking about just going live with like a still picture, but that won't be as fun. You know, I like this. I love what we call, haha, how are you? Great to see your name on this screen. Wow. This is mainly for you. I I noticed your comment. I don't know when you commented that. Are we doing lives anymore? But I missed you too. So I don't know how long I can stay on, but mainly I don't like the glitchiness. I don't like being misinterpreted, or, if you miss something I say, I don't like that. So, trying to set up a way to where we could do lives and it's not misunderstood. So, how are you? Yeah, people misinterpret stuff all day long. When we sit in front of a friend, we really do believe we understand them, where we only know a little bit of what they let us in the door to see. We truly don't understand ourselves. And on that foundation that was built faulty, we can't understand anything or anyone. So when we use this online thing or texting, it doesn't say what we want or need. And in that way, relationships are destroyed, if not just divided. What's this? What's the difference, right? You know. But I appreciate that. Still didn't tell me how you are. Yeah, I don't like the glitchy. I don't. I'm trying to figure out a studio where I just play music, talk, conversate with you guys all day, about subjects that are important, at least in my world, that I found great advice in, things that work for me. And then I would like to hear things that work for you. And then when we put those together, hopefully they will. That's the idea. Well, that should be the idea, I think. We'll see. Plus, I've been pretty busy. What do you mean you were not very good? Really? What's going on? Unless you don't want to say, I think you have my number, man. You can call me. Call me. I'm sorry to hear that, but what is good to you? And what is this not good you speak of? And I'm glad you're on. I'm glad it helped. So the youngest one is my best hunter. She's the only one actually looking for something else to eat. It's amazing. We really should listen to the children. Not do what they say, but listen to what they have to say, because they have listened to us thoroughly. And when we don't like what they say, it's only because we weren't paying attention to what we told and taught them. And now it's kicking us in our asses. And that's life. But if we listen to the children more, we'd get really great advice, but just don't know how to listen to something we're supposed to be teaching. We're such a complex species. We don't have to be that convoluted. Keywords con. Unreal. Society is definitely a lie we all agree upon. And that's not life. That's a lie we all agree upon. I'm glad you feel better. I'm very glad. Oh. Like I said, you can call me. Don't feel shy, you know. If I can't talk, I'll let you know, and then I'll call you back. It's very complicated to know why so many people feel ill and don't feel right. You know, if they were a ship, they would feel like they're sinking. Whereas if you look at any animal on this planet, other than the ones we've taken in, they don't feel that way. They're hungry, they get tired, they play. They might build a little bit, but mainly they're hungry, tired, and play. You know, hungry, play, and tired. Get rest. We are the ones that made it so complicated to live. Whereas you have dis-ease mentally or physically. Where in the world else do you see that in any animal kingdom? No, that's okay either. Don't feel bad. We'll work together. You're good. I am pretty patient when it comes to most things. You know, language is definitely complicated. You ever want to call, you call. Oh, man. Maybe I can learn some of your language. I think we, as a people, we should speak one language which they're working for. It's just that one language that they're working for scares the shit out of me. Because they technically want to be in our heads. That's out. I don't want anybody in my head but me, you know. They want to invade our thoughts, our dreams. That's crazy. I don't want that shit. Technically, if we're going to be an honest live, whatever this is, They already have that shit. It's just they don't want you to know that. If your average person knew that, if they took that in, if they really were to at that, a lot of people would freak out, let alone not know what to do. So here we are. It's just the they category that you're willing or even able to throw whoever into that is responsible for that madness. That way, because there's not much that way. There's a lot that way, 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 way farther than there is that way or that way. There's reservations all around. But, you know, society has ruined that with the sickness of society. I think it's funny. It's not funny, but I think it's funny how we really think society is developed. Yeah, they developed right over indigenous cultures everywhere. I don't think it's right. I think it is the sickness we're all looking for. And until we're willing, or like I said, able to find that, we're going to have a lot of therapy bills, a lot of medical bills. And that's how these people get paid. You know, the system, if it works as long as you're willing to be a sick individual. Seriously. We're not talking language here. We're talking understanding of ease or dis-ease. When you look at your life, your average person is in a diseased state, an uneasy state. That's why we're not making it very long, and that's why we check out earlier than we should, and that's also why most people don't mind checking out earlier if they could find their ticket. I think that if there is a sin, that's a sin, and the greater sin is making the people this way. You are being judged. It's not that you will be judged. We're always being measured. All right, I do have to climb this hill. Let's see. You know, wild dogs start eating a deer while it's alive. Yeah, no, it's not a sin. Okay. If we are to take a life for this life, hope we're making this life worth way more than the life we just took. Even if you find it, you are taking it in and making it you. You should be. We should be conscious of what we take in and make us with. Yeah, you're right. It's not a sin for us to kill anything, to eat it. It's not a sin for the lion to kill the deer. The thing is, I think we really should review sin was a goddess, or sorry, a god, way before the Christian God. Most people, I just made a video about that. I don't know if I released it. The sin god is like at least a millennia older than Yahweh, even El. I think I released a video that Yahweh, the Christian God, had a consort, a wife named Asherah. And it is said that she was the goddess of the moon. The moon is about reflection. What you're scared of at night will be lit up by the reflection of the moon from the sun's light. The sun being Yahweh, Asherah being the moon goddess, they were consorting against humanity, you can say. But what they left out was Sin, the actual name Sin, I believe. It might have been spelled a little bit different. He was a god, like a millennia, millennia. People were worshiping this god called Sin. Now you really got to wonder, did the Romans have in mind disrupting the intelligence of what we are, humans? We are is our training. And I really believe they used that information against us. Because if you think about it, what is sin? It is reflection. It is seeing what you want to be versus what you are. And it is the growth in between that we're truly missing. We're just lost in the holy fuck, I'm going to hell, right? That's not the way God is made, man. If you look at the Bible, it shows there's a God and a devil. If he created everything, there is no subtraction. I believe that book was designed to divide us, so we stand divided. And that's no God that I can understand, let alone follow. Just doesn't make sense. I would follow a God named Sin first. As long as he taught me my reflection is just growth. What I see right here will change while I go. I'm changing right now. As I'm walking, every breath, every heartbeat, I'm changing, I'm growing. I'm doing that word called evolving, but what I'm also doing in another word is repenting. I'm changing my mind. That's one word for repent, or one meaning for repent, was to change the mind. Not just mind, but mind. The way you use this body, the temple Yeshua spoke of. Whew. No. What's a Christian? I, I oh boy. No. Not a Christian. Not in that sense. I follow teachings of Yeshua, not Jesus. Understand that one. I've studied who I believe Yeshua to be and follow that. Not just Yeshua, anybody with great characteristics. I'll learn from you. Why wouldn't I? You are God in the flesh. Just another exposure and experience. Oh boy, feels good to say out loud, doesn't it? Well, why is it wrong to a wild dog unless they want to domesticate or enslave that dog to their teachings? It started out wild, and I mean that's where the books kind of get me misunderstood. It's really about how deep you want to go. If you would like to go deep with this, I can go live. I just can't do this 'cause it's starting to rain. Um, okay, see, this is so wild is using your instincts. Culture is sharpening or dulling those instincts for their purpose. Does that make any sense? Culture meaning the religions, the beliefs, the ideas, the lies we all agree upon to build a society. Like, take this country, if your average person knew how poisonous the water was just from the pipes, not the protective stuff that they put on the pipes, not the stuff that's breaking off the pipes, not the stuff that they put in the water to clean it, but just the pipes. If you knew how poisonous it was, you would never touch that. You wouldn't even touch the water, let alone drink it. But we don't know. We don't have real education. We have a lie. We all believe, and it's dangerous. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's why I try not to bring it up, because I believe Jesus was an like the name Jesus, I'm sorry, was an instrument to help you lose faith. If you have to pray through Jesus to any God that he provides, you're missing God. You're literally, if you have faith in a God, why do we pray, right? That's my question. So we we're supposed to have faith and we're supposed to pray, but you're supposed to say sorry through Jesus. It confused literally the hell into me, because it just didn't make any sense. Because if God made everything, that means you're God in the flesh. That means any rock you look at, any piece of soil, any plant matter, any raindrop, any air molecule, any, take it, it's all God. So Satan's God, Jesus is God, Buddha's God, Allah's God. Um, Take anything under the sun. That water tank is God. We just don't appreciate it, and we've been diverted from and severed from true source, true God. What we refer to as God is life, and life comes from actually nothing. If you, yeah, it's hard to, man. If you were a video game, you wouldn't have any idea who's controlling you. And that's the second dimension being controlled by the third. We're in the third trying to understand the fourth, and trust me, it's way crazier than the second trying to understand the third, because it's like a bajillion times greater than that before it. It is a way bigger reflection. I believe whoever Yeshua was trying to say this because at the time he was under Roman rule, and before that the people were under another rule, and all these rules, man, that's what breaks the wild. I think we'd be better off wild. We wouldn't be killing everything else. And that's it's another thing the Bible does. It really it makes you think that the wild, the wilderness is bad. Don't go there, you know? It's insane. This is this is what your body craves for medicine. All right, so let's see. Jesus can't be, why Jesus? No, no, no. Well, if Jesus is God, everything is God. God doesn't stop at Jesus, and it doesn't start with good. God is in Satan, you know? I can't believe that if we're going to believe, right, this God is great all the time, and all the time God is great. Any God, no offense, seriously. If they have a devil, how? It's like growing a child. If you pay attention and nurture the child, how do you fuck that up? If you let go learn some really horrible shit, like that lost sheep shit, you're not a sheep, you're a child of God. You're any God that would send you as a sheep to the wolves, and there's connection. It's not that I have a difference. There's a way to look at Jesus, and then a way to look at the actual character that lived. Huge interpretation, okay? If one actually lived, actually they're all of God. Even the imaginary things we make up in our heads and hearts are part of God. It is the energy that makes us. We're all God. So there's no devil, it's all God. It's just how we interpret the growth and the search. And it also can be said that the evil that we believe is evil is just training for a culture. Keyword cult, because it's all a lie we're agreeing upon. It's nonsense. But Jesus didn't say he's God, did he? He said he had a God. Can God have a God? Please don't. Oh no, I'm not. No, you won't offend me, man. I'm good. What I can't tell you what Jesus said, man. I can tell you here and there I find these things that he said, I and the Father are one, I believe. But in some interpretations, the Father is source or mother. It's really it's really misinterpreted. If you read it in English, it tells you what the English empire wanted you to believe into so they can run your life. Bet you it's glitchy. The Roman Empire had an agenda and they used the Bible, something BC or AD. They used it as an instrument to coerce or uh, mix beliefs. They needed to control the people. You can say the Roman Empire fell, but look at the Papal Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition. The the Inquisitions were they were almost worse than what the Roman Empire did. And then you have America being found. You have America or having people live in it the way they wanted to, and then being slaughtered because the English had an agenda, a belief, a cult, a culture to bring. And many Native Americans, 111 million or so, were not just killed, man, slaughtered, murdered, raped, tortured, fed to dogs, starved, diseased. And that's the shit we're buying into. That's the lie. Saying, Jesus says it's okay. He wouldn't okay this shit. This is nuts. You may misunderstand one in purpose, not in essence, because he said he and disciples are one. John 7. I would look that up right now, but I can't. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Can you say it real quick? He said, I wish I had another way to look this up. I can tell you my interpretation of the Bible. Um, Your eyes are inflamed. Uh, is uh, they're usually like that. They're poofy. I don't really sleep. Ow. I don't sleep much. Uh, I rest. You know. Um, hmm, Maybe allergies. I definitely have allergies. They get worse at night when I try to sleep, and it causes me to breathe through my mouth, which is really bad for our health. Anybody that breathes through their mouth during the day is doing really detriment to their heart as well as their whole body. They're probably very stressed, agitated, tired, confused, unfocused, And then when you do it at night, when you're supposed to be resting, healing, you sleep 3 times a day with 4 hours each. Nice. Wow. I wouldn't be able to do that. Um, yeah, we really need to breathe through our noses. I'll tell you that. It makes a huge difference. Just breathing through your nose, you're availing yourself to 20% more oxygen. Now, that sounds like a superhero gift, but it's the way we're supposed to work. So if you're not actually breathing through your nose, you're losing 20% oxygen. And that's bad. It's very bad for your health. I do have to go. It is that time. I will try to get on if you don't mind. Just having a still picture. I don't mind doing more talking. Ow. But it's John 17, 21, 23. John 17. Okay. 21, 23. I will try. Dude, you got my number. Text me. Don't you have? That they may all be one, just as you, Father, are in me, and I in you. You that. Yeah, no, I've read that. My interpretation is he not who hasn't the Father sent. It's just we've been misguided, led astray by this culture. Did you see Jesus diving into a home, getting a job, or did he pull people away from that lifestyle and say, be free? Because it works for me. Oh, you know what I mean? We really, we look at that character, Jesus, and we believe he had this divine gift, which I believe we all, happy sunrise! Um, everyone, not just everyone, dude, this little thing that will stick me in my toe if I don't wear shoes is not only sent from God with a gift, many gifts, but it is God just displaying a little bit of its gift. And we don't interpret it. We just see thorns because that's what we've been taught those are. Some of these thorns, some of them in this place, some of these plants are medicinal, and we're buying shit off the store shelf. That's dangerous stuff they're putting in our bodies, you know? Yeah. I just, I've learned to at least try to see whatever God is to me. I can't say what God is to anyone else, but to me, because that is my belief. God is everything, everything. The air in between, the everything. Because without it, we wouldn't be here, you know. And I think we were the divine inspiration of his, creation. He didn't make this planet for everything but us. I think he was like, you know what? Now we're good. Uh, we're not good. We're pretty fucking bad. We have no idea what God is. And we try to put it into one book where I think I put it into one video. It's really simple. You know, I don't know. That's my beliefs. It's fairly simple. There is no bad but what we believe to be, meaning what you do in this realm, this third dimensional realm, you take any, I don't know, what? Do you know the verse where Jesus said the Father as, no, I don't believe that. I just, I cannot believe, because before there is sin, the God of the moon, 1,000 years before that God had a chance at people. So before Yahweh was El, or sorry, before Yahweh was Yahweh, he was El. And then before that, there was other gods people worshipped. So how is Yahweh or El the creator when there's many gods, including feminine gods before him? That Bible is, I'm not saying it's all wrong, but it's faulty. It was a device used against the people, not for the people. If you really believe Rome um, built that, they're they're trying to say the Council of Nicaea had to do with it, but if you researched before, the internet has been changed as they're doing today, you'd I've been researching this about a decade almost. Um, like who wrote the Bible, what they do. They changed the Bible. Um, they changed it way too much. It really shouldn't be that long. Why is the place, rain makes it dry? It's not drier. I don't think it's drier. I don't know. I do gotta go. It is breaking that fast time. Time to break that fast. I like this better. I like the clouds. It's so much better on me. The heat is hard for me. It's one reason I wear this, because I got to keep it wet. It's time to wet it, even though I got a sweatshirt on. I'm getting hot. So, who is Yahweh? Yahweh was supposedly the God of that Bible, the Christian Bible. There was a little tribe. I can't remember who they were. I don't know. But there's this little tribe found long, long time ago. They were the first ones to worship Yahweh. And then it was led, as the story goes, the Hebrew word? I don't know what you mean by that. You mean the tetra? I do not know, but I will tell you I gotta go. Are you able to text me? Hey, come on. Oh man, I gotta get the dogs water. Um, yeah. They worshipped those letters. That's how they spelled it. Um, every letter you can, no, you cannot. That's what I'm saying. You can't put it into a book. Hmm? Yeah. Any god that claims they're in a book, I wouldn't trust them. You really can't. God is in the relationship between individuals. It is the harmony or disruption. It is the energy of us all. So when we say God, that really labels energy. I don't know how we've misinterpreted that. I mean, I know how, but I think it's pretty self explanatory. Oh, trying to get the dogs some water. What the shit? You are sneaky. Wow. We got a dog that snuck into the cage. All right. I do gotta go. I mean, the pronunciation, the name is not actually a name. Yeah, I know. I don't. We remember to start here where we left. Hold the phone while doing this. I love you. Thank you.